Today, let's take a look at this 2019 Chevrolet Tahoe Premier offered on YarkQuickBuy.com for the negotiable price of $48,000. This Tahoe is showing just under 70,000 miles and it is fully loaded to the max. Let's check out the exterior. The exterior color is known as deep wood green metallic, and it is an interesting color. I quite like it because you can definitely see the metallic flare of the paint in the sun. Not a lot of Tahoes came in this color, so it definitely complements the interior color, which is known as dune. We are riding on 20-inch Chevrolet chrome wheels with Michelin 285/45 R22 LTX all-terrain tires. Up front, we can see we have a massive chrome grille with your typical Chevrolet bow tie, along with LED running and parking lights. Under the hood is a 5.3-liter Ecotec 3 V8 that puts out 355 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque. These have been used in the Tahoe since 2001, so they are a robust and reliable platform. Let's check out the rear. Liftgate is, of course, power operated. We can see that we have enormous amounts of cargo room with the third row seats down, and they are controlled by these buttons here. Simply hold them and it comes up, easy up and easy down. But when you have the third row up, you kind of lose a ton of cargo space. So depending on what you're using this for, it might be best to just leave the third row down. You also have controls for the rear seats. Push of a button, they fold down, another push, and they unlock and unlatch, providing easy access to the third row. The second row seats are also adjustable and latchable by pulling this lever here on the side. Simply click it into place and lift it up and it clicks right back in place. The second row itself provides a reasonable amount of legroom, and we also have the benefit of captain's chairs, so if you're on a long trip, you don't have to worry about children getting in fights or anything like that. You also have these all-weather floor mats that come standard. You don't have to worry about crumbs or debris from snacks or anything like that. They're easy to clean and easy to remove. Here we can see we have rear climate control along with a 110 power outlet, along with a 12-volt outlet, and heated seat controls and fan speed and temperature control for the rear passengers, along with USB ports. Up here we have a rear entertainment system, HDMI capability, getting in front into the cockpit of the Tahoe. Buttons upon buttons, but don't let that fool you because they're easy to read and locate. Here we have our dim control for the lights, our headlight control, our four-wheel drive system control, and a trailer brake controller, so you can pull jet skis or a small trailer with a 6,400 max tow rating. Up here we have traction control, parking sensors, lane keep assist, and power adjustable pedals. Here we have the cruise control system. This does have adaptive cruise control. We have our controls for the center display. The center display itself provides 2 analog gauges for the speedometer and tachometer. We also have digital gauges for the oil pressure, engine temperature, fuel gauge, and voltage. And here we have the traditional column shifter. It gives a muscular feel, old school cool, as a lot of SUVs are transitioning to knobs and buttons. Here on the end we have our tow mode. We also have a gear limiter right here, so if you're towing in low range and you need to lock out certain gears in the transmission, you can do that with ease. Here in the center control stack we have these huge air vents. We also have an 8-inch display screen with Chevrolet MyLink that can show navigation along with different settings like a compass and OnStar, different apps, and audio control. Here we have all of our physical radio control buttons, so you don't have to look through numerous pages of apps to find anything. Here we have our climate control, heated and cooled seat controls there. The cool thing about this center display screen, you push this button and it lifts up to reveal a cavernous cubby, so you can store whatever you want in there, whether you want it out of reach of any passengers or anything like that. You also have a small USB port, so you can put your phone in there and let it charge. Here we have another 12-volt outlet along with 2 USBs, 2 reasonably sized cup holders, and wireless charging capability. In this center console, we have an adjustable tray along with the controls for the rear entertainment system, a change holder, and another 12-volt outlet, 2 USB ports, and tons of deep space. Let's go ahead and get this thing out on the road. Let's get this Tahoe out on the road, starting with a turning radius test. Definitely not as big as you might think it would be. Impressive. First initial thoughts behind the wheel of the Chevrolet Tahoe Premier. The ride is fantastic, and the steering feel as well. It's all totally un-SUV-like, partly in thanks because of the magnetic ride control system. This is a GM feature that is used in a lot of their performance cars like the Cadillac CT5V and Chevrolet Corvette, and it basically automatically dampens the suspension and the steering feel as you're driving down the road in real time. It's constantly observing road feedback and cornering and things like that. It's wizardry, but it turns this big behemoth of a body-on-frame SUV into a performer when it comes to handling, and provides a smooth, silky ride. Overall around town, it is nice and quiet, but you can definitely hear that pushrod V8 rumble under the hood. When cruising like this, the engine will sit in V4 mode. This has what is known as active fuel management. What happens there is that depending on throttle response, the engine will cut down from 8 to 4 cylinders, whether you're on the highway or cruising below a certain RPM. Right now we are in 4-cylinder mode, and you can see that it cuts down to V8 and also displays your instant MPG. Let's see what this big old Tahoe is like on the highway. You can feel that torque through the power band from this pushrod engine, so all the torque is at the bottom end, and it gets this thing up and moving with ease. It makes a good sound when doing it too. The 6-speed 6L80E automatic transmission adapts well to highway driving. It's sitting just below 2,000 RPM, though sometimes when you kick it down to pass, it is a little bit hesitant, but it still delivers strong power and torque when you need it. Right now we are in 4-cylinder mode, and our instant economy says 35 to 42 mpg. Likes to jump around like that. It's quick and it's responsive, just like this steering. As I throw it into this corner, you feel a lot of road input from the suspension into the steering wheel. Again, in a big SUV, that is exactly what you want. But again, that magnetic ride control is doing wonders, making this a plush and smooth ride, and allowing this thing to corner like it is on rails. Getting on the brakes feel good and strong. A lot of input into the pedal. You have the confidence to really throw this Tahoe around in the corners because of that magnetic ride control system. It gives you confidence to really drive it spiritedly if you'd like. And you know that StabiliTrak will counter any severe body roll that you have. You can throw it around as you please. Stout accelerator response off the line. No issue getting up to the speed limit. In a residential area like this one, it's quiet. In rougher surfaces, you can definitely feel more bumps in the seats, even though that suspension is adapting to the terrain. It means you can definitely feel more input from the wheels and feel more bumps. So it might be a little bit rough, but it's not terrible. Right there, that's what I mean when I say that this thing is wide. You have this long hood in front of you, and it's difficult to see what's in front of you because of the blind spots. It's big and bulky. It's not bad, but it can be tricky, but it's not terrible. No hesitation from the transmission going down these residential roads. It's not trying to hang in any higher gear. It doesn't have to search to downshift. There's no hesitation when changing gear. It knows what gear to be in, and it knows how to handle these low speed areas. Nice on the highway and on the street. So if you are interested in this car, be sure to check it out at yarkquickbuy.com, the one-stop shop where you can find hundreds of pre-owned and used cars. That is yarkquickbuy.com. As always, at Yark, we've got just what you're looking for.